Hi everyone, welcome back again with me, Miss Dandy. So today I'm going to share to you about the differences between chronological CV and also skill-based CV. Okay, so check it out. Okay, so the first type is chronological CV. Actually, it is very common to use because from this chronological CV, the employer or your prospective employer will know the history of your employment. Okay, so it focuses on the history and also the stress of when you did what. Okay, it is very good for you that has the progressing employment history. The first one is writing down your name in large letters. Why it should be in a large letter? Because it is used to make your interviewer find it easily to find your CV. Okay, because we know that the applicants is not only you. So make sure that your name is visible. And then the second step is writing down your contact details. It involves your address, telephone number, email address, and so on. And then make sure that your email is sensible. For example, your complete name at gmail.com. The third step is writing down your education. Okay, so here you have to outline your main educational qualifications. Please make sure that you list from the most recent first. It includes the university name, degree, graduation date, relevant coursework, academic honors or awards. You may also include the GPA if you are the fresh graduate. The fourth step is work experience. So here, because it is the chronological order, make sure that you list your work experience from the most recent first. Okay? And then in this section, please include the date, okay, the year, the date, your duties, your job description, and also the key skills that is relevant to the job you are applying for. And the next is activities and interest. So when you have the expedition and you involved in workshops, seminars, please include the activities here and focus on the skills which are relevant to the job. This section allows you to let your employer know that you are active in several activities. It could be the exchange, it could be the competition, and so on and so forth. And the last but not least, it is about the additional skills. When you have the skills in several fields, such as the language, it could be your score in TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, or maybe you are learning other foreign languages, you can include here. And also it could be the computer skills. For example, you master about the CorelDRAW, Photoshop, and other applications, you can list here. And then if you have such kind of license, it can be the driving license, it can be some specific skills license, you can list here. So this section helps you to let your employer know that you have the special skills that maybe can be useful for the job. Okay, next for the second type of CV is skill-based CV. So the difference between skill-based and also chronological CV. Skill-based CV focuses not on your work history, but it focuses on your skills, especially the transferable skills. This is actually used by someone that has the practical experience in an industry. So maybe the people who is looking to change the careers, or the job seekers who wants to look to turn a hobby or passion into a job. So it stresses on the skill, not on the work history. So you do not need to list your experience or your details related to the work from the most recent. You do not need to do that. You just focus on the skills that might be useful for you to be accepted as the employee of the company. So the first one that you can use in a skill-based CV is a personal statement. Okay? Although it is optional for you, you may write down or not, it is up to you, but I suggest you to write down the personal statement, because the prospective employers will know you, will know who you are when reading this kind of statements. And the personal statements are included in a CV, and it has a statement of who you are, your value to the organization, and also your career objectives. For example, when you are a translator, you can use this kind of objective. For example, to use my knowledge of languages, computer skills, and experience working with international visitors in a tourist-related industry. Okay. So you can write down the objective, and also you can write down a glance of a statement of who you are. Okay, so I strongly suggest you to write down this kind of statement. Next is writing down your key skills. As I told you before, it deals with the transferable skills along with the evidence. Okay, for example, when the employer or the company is looking for a certain skill, and then you might think that you have this kind of skill, you can break this down into similar groups and provide evidence that you've got the skills. Okay? And then, for example, when you have the job advertisement mentions that they are looking for somebody who is an excellent communicator and has great research skill, you should write in your CV directly in the reaction to that with skills heading such as communication or research. Okay, so please emphasize this kind of skill. You know that you are now writing down a skill-based CV, so it mostly tells about your skills. Okay, the next is work experience section or work experience details. In this kind of section, you have to write down the work or the job that you have done. Okay, since it is the skill-based CV, you have to deal with the skills that you have when you did this kind of job. For example, when you were marketing staff, for example, you can list the skills that you have or that you learn or that you gain when you were the marketing staff. For example, the communication skill or the promotion skill or the negotiation skill. Okay, so please think about the skill that you have already had, that you have already possessed, rather than writing down the history. You write down the skills. Next is the education details. This has no big difference with the chronological CV because you write down the details. It is more or less is the same as the chronological CV. You write down the university name and also your coursework and also your academic honors or your GPA, or maybe you can write down the course or the subject that you had in the university that might be relevant to the skills that the company is looking for. For the professional qualifications, you can write down the license or the certification that maybe you have done such kind of tasks to achieve the certification. Just write down in this section. It's the same as the chronological order basically. Okay, you write down your language qualification. For example, you are very fluent in speaking English, or you are very fluent in speaking Spanish or other foreign languages. You just write down here. Other than that, you can also list your license. You can list the skills that may be useful for you as the employee of the company. Next is the interest section. So you can write down your interest here. Maybe you like researching, or maybe you want to learn more about such kind of topic, or maybe you are the person who is creative, so the interest that you may list is about the creative activities. Okay, so in this case, the interest section gives the employee the description about what you like, your passion, your interest, and maybe the activities that can encourage you to be better. And the last one is referees. It is the same as the reference. The reference consists of the people that can testify your skills and also abilities. It can be the previous employers, it can be your previous supervisors, or it could be your thesis supervisor if you are the fresh graduate. It could be your professor or your lecturer. Okay, so referees are the people who know your ability and can recommend you to be applied or to be accepted as the employee in the company that you are applying for.